we mentioned Gavi before. Michael Yokin, a colleague of ours from Israel, came out with his tweet last night. I'm sure he wasn't the only one, but he said, I think it was like minute 85 in the game, and he said, Gavi has now played 85 minutes or whatever it was in this game, which is more than he has played in any single game for Barcelona or for Barcelona B. Robbo, can you just talk to me a little bit about this? Because he's a 17-year-old kid. He's very good. He's not somebody, and I did check on this, who at 14 or 15 said, oh, he's the next Ansu Fati. He's not somebody who's considered a phenom.
He's more late developer. Well, late-ish.
Well, at 17, yeah. But can you talk about that? How is it possible that a guy who was playing not very much for Barcelona B can just slot into a midfield for Spain and completely look the part straight away? You've worked with young players.
Champions, because if they played Andorra, it was okay, but that was Italy.
Yeah. You've worked with young players. You've seen them. Can you just talk about that transition? What is the gap between a very gifted under-18 player and a starter at international level?
Well, what I would say about him on what I saw yesterday is that he had a great tactical brain as well. It wasn't just his ability on the ball, so he could twist and turn away from challenges. He also had the ability to get back into good positions. He made a couple of great blocks when people were running through. I thought he was outstanding. And it also makes it easier. When you're coming into a side and you're dominating possession, you're not feeling quite so tired. You can make the right sort of runs. If Italy had dominated the game, I'm sure Gavi would only have played 60 minutes. Because Spain were in complete control and they had that easy possession, he was able to look at outstanding player. And the game just flowed for him. It was really good performance from him.
Luis Enrique said after the game, Verratti is his favourite player or his idol or something that he wants to be like. And he said, so go and shut him down. Go and make sure that he's got no influence on the game. And I love the fact that it's your international debut. You've hardly had a debut for Barcelona, full stop, as we've explained. And then you play against the guy that you look up the most to, that is maybe the most similar to your abilities in such a big game. And your coach just said to you, you know what, this is your chance. Go and just take the game away from him almost. And I just found that amazing. And for Gavi to show a little bit of nerves because he lost the first ball that he touched. And I think then Chiesa had a shot on target or something. But after that, got really into the game and did well. I think it must be amazing as a 17-year-old, and he must be pretty strong mentally to be able to cope with all of that. The pressure, first the call-up from Luis Enrique, then the fact that he started. He must have known, I guess, a few hours before kickoff that he was starting, and to get into the game the way he did, even if Spain were very dominant, even if Italy were maybe a bit disappointing, it's still pretty remarkable. And I just want to see what the Dutch guy is going to do with him now.
People are excited about all these young players that Spain has, and you project forward. In that you've got Oyarzabal, who is 24, Ferran Torres, I think, is 21 or 22. Obviously, Gavi 17, Pau Torres also very young at the back,
24.
And you've got Ansu Fati to come back in, and Pedri. Right? You look at the midfield. Oh, look, I was looking at the midfield, right? I think, all right, so this guy's pretty good. But then, look, it's Busquets, who's old, and Koke, who is getting old. But then I thought, man, you can put Pedri in for Koke and Rodri in for who's going to be around for a while, in for Busquets, and all of a sudden, this is a pretty ridiculous midfield.
It is, and I think the future is bright. But to go back on Spain and Luis Enrique, we said at the Euros, even after the slow start, let's put it that way.
But so was it a slow start, or was it simply creating chances and not finishing them?
Yeah, but that's what we said. After Luis Enrique got slaughtered after the 0-0 against Sweden.
But it's not Luis Enrique's fault that the chances don't get finished. His job is to create the chances, and then the players to finish them.
We said that the fact that they played well and that the performance and the content of it was positive. Certainly we thought that they were going to be fine. And yet the criticism, especially back in Spain, were quite outrageous. And then we were like, why? But why? Because clearly you can see if you watch the game properly, okay, they haven't scored, but their expected goals were quite high. They were very clumsy in front of goals. But it was only a matter of time before it all clicked and worked together. And also for Luis Enrique to find the right players maybe to fit in the idea that he had.
This is the thing, and Robbo, if you could address this a little bit. One of his criticisms has been, obviously there's no Real Madrid players in the squad and so on, and he really doesn't seem to give a hoot about reputation because Sarabia, who's done very well when he's played for Spain.
Yeah.
You know, people are like, who is this guy?
Do you know where he plays now?
He's in Portugal, no?
Yeah,
he's
Sporting.
He's a Sporting, no?
Club, yeah.
The Azpilicueta, frankly,
Yeah.
does not seem like a Spanish fullback because he's not an attacking fullback, and we've always associated that, you know, with being part of Spain. Marcos Alonso, remember, this is the guy who so many people, I'm not going to name and shame them, says, well, no, he can't defend, he never do anything, that's why they needed Chile. Oh, Chile this, Chile that. Nothing against Ben Chilwell, but Marcos Alonso can contribute. The number of people told me Marcos Alonso can never play in a 4. No, he can't play in a back 4. He doesn't defend. He's too tall, he's too slow, too clunky, you know. And he brings these guys in, and it works. Now, sometimes he takes it too far. I don't think we need to see Eric Garcia again. But
Please, no.
Can you just talk about that, about getting the right players to fit the squad, regardless of reputation and talent? And obviously, you were never an international coach, but you coached at club level, and obviously you were a player. Is it a case about getting the best and biggest 11 in there, or the people who make it work?
You have to get the right balance. And what he did yesterday, he got the right balance with the back 4. Marcos Alonso is a very good player going forward. He does have problems defensively, 1v1. But if you've got Azpilicueta on the other side, tucking in to make a back 3 when he goes forward, it's the perfect combination. And then when he put on Jeremy, the one young player you didn't mention there, it worked perfectly because Azpilicueta, again, could tuck in and be a third centre-half. And Pino could go past Pino, he could play as the outside right, go past Pino, get crosses into the box. And I think Luis Enrique has always been a good coach. He struggled slightly at Roma because he was quite forward thinking and they played too slowly, but they tried to play out from the back. He played a different position for Daniele De Rossi. Luis Enrique is a good coach, no doubt about that, and he's getting the best out of young players. And he's right not to have any regard for reputation. He goes with the players he thinks will be best for the Spanish team. And at the moment, he's doing a very good job doing that.
You know what club right now could really, really, really do with Luis Enrique?
His old club?
Barcelona! So much better than the Dutch guy. And now when you see that, you could see the difference between the Dutch guy and a really good manager like Luis Enrique.
I think Luis Enrique wants to win the World Cup.
Yeah, and he probably will. He has got a big chance to do so. Fair
and of course, he's already been there, done that, won the treble. You know,
just saying, if he feels a bit emotional, and he can always go back.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.